Hi, everyone. Good morning,
Hello.
good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. And uh, so sorry, yeah. Thank you for catching me live. And today we have Jen. She is from Singapore, like myself. And I would like everyone to get to know her. So, Jen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rebecca, for having me here. Very honored to be on your page. And yeah, it's what Wednesday morning for us here, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so yes, like what she said, I'm from Singapore. I'm a single mom. I'm a working mom. I have two teenage boys. Yeah, and actually, I work in the education industry. Mm, Also, like Rebecca, I'm a digital business owner. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Jen, for coming. And like I shared with you, I am very inspired by your story, and I would love to everyone to know about uh, how what was life like before you started this digital business,
Mm-mm.
and would you mind sharing with everyone?
Sure. No, of course. It's a long story, but I just don't know where to start. Okay, so basically, because as a single mom, for like almost 8 years or so, um, basically I would be the main caregiver and also sole breadwinner to the family. So a lot of times, as a very typical working mom, we are all very entrenched into the day-to-day routine, and yet um, we will have to manage work and manage family. And I guess it comes to a point, and to me, I have been in the corporate world. I have always been sales and marketing in healthcare industry for almost like 18 years. And to be honest, I have always been, I would say, a pretty high flyer. And but along the way, at the last year, I decided to resign, even though I knew that I was due for a double promotion that year.
Wow.
So I gave that up because I no longer want to compromise not having time with my boys. So that time my kids were still pretty young, like maybe like K2. My older one was K2 going to P1. So I knew that it is very important to have time with them. And those are hectic lifestyle. I feel that I had enough. So it's a very difficult decision for me to to give up my corporate life. I've got good pay. Really, I've got really good pay. I live in really good lifestyle, and I've got good benefit. I'm like due for double promotion. Wow, that's like in the
Yeah.
corporate American MNC, the type of perks that I'm getting. So it was
Mhm.
really a huge struggle. But ultimately, I feel that no, my kids' development were more important. Having time with them is more important.
Yeah.
So that was why I decided to throw in a towel. Okay, I had enough. So, or what I was very fortunate. Well, in a way, fortunate, I would think so. All the while, since young, I has always been thinking that in order to make money, you have to be a boss. And in order to be a boss, there's only two type of ways of making good money. It's either very like those what they call it, the under table type of money. That's one part, right? It's the type they say cannot 见光 one, right? And the other type is you must be a boss. So that's my impression to that you need to have money, big money. And I always have this stereotype in me. Big boss, big money means that those uncle, big fat uncle wear the gold chain and those stuff. So so that's my like my impression. Then came this opportunity where I able to do a partnership, to run a student care center. So I was very excited. I'm like, hey, no, to be a boss doesn't mean must be like that. This type of stereotype. So I was very excited. So I really went into do this partnership because I thought that by being my own boss, I can have the time with my children. So I had this partnership. Yes. So then that was when I had the huge um, career switch, and then um,
It does. Okay, so does this lead to the next question? What made you step into
yes,
this, business?
yes, absolutely. So you know, since my first son was born right last time, like now he's 16. So for the last 16 years, I have always been searching for another source of income, right? Always. But I've tried so many things, be it they call it MLM, direct marketing, e-commerce, sell things, do different type platforms. I have all done it, but to be honest, it's not sustainable for me because I don't have the time, right? To keep going for training, meet people, and do all these things. I don't like to sell to people, friends, and not everybody just leave me, right?
Yeah,
So I have done that, and I like it's really not sustainable. And once I have to stock up products, I gotta eat products myself and all those things. So I'm like, hey, it's ridiculous. All right. So
yeah,
that's something I've been doing. so so then when I joined, and or rather I started up this business, and that was probably about I would say about 9 years ago. So I was so excited about this partnership student care. Although I'm new, but I really learned a lot. But I guess the thing is that along the way I realized, right, hey, it is not what I envisioned it to be. In order to be a boss, you need to be physically present. And then
yeah,
not just that, my point is I want time with my kids. And then now with this business, it's worse, I need to be physically present. I after work, even though I'm home, I still need to work on a lot of other things. I've got a lot more headaches. I need to worry about enrollment, worry about manpower, worry about regulatories, worry about so many things. So I'm like, shucks, I should have just stayed there, right? Because Rebecca, you see, this is the crux. When you are employee mindset, it's okay, things will come. I got my pay, I get my benefits, if I'm on MC, I can take MC, I got leave. But as a business owner, a traditional business owner, I've got none of this. I'm sick, I still have to work. If I sick, I see doctor, I gotta pay on my own pocket. I don't get paid regularly. Maybe I draw a minimal amount a pay, but that's pretty much it. And there's so many other things that we all have headache about.
mm,
So, and I don't get the time for my boys, and my boys were going haywire every day after student care. They were crying and making tantrums. Lots of issue at student care in school, begging me, please, please, mommy, I don't want to go student care. And it's such a heartache because it's a struggle. I'm sure there's many mothers like me. It's a struggle because you hate seeing your kids being so unhappy, but I'm stuck. You got no choice, right? So that was really very, very traumatic for everybody. And plus, being a single mom, I don't have help. I just have to what we call it suck time, like, we just bear with it. Yeah. So I have to say that it was a difficult 9 years for me. But I just keep on pressing on because I keep telling myself, okay, boss, right, boss, one day I will earn the money and all those things. So, but one day it hit me because 1 year plus ago, it hit me because one day we realized that we lost the contract because we work with schools. So we lost the contract.
mm,
So that really hit me very hard because it's like, firstly, there is no so called job security. Number two, it made me realize, hey, after 9 years, what profits have I gained as a boss, as a business owner? I have to tell you, zero. Because when you start a business, a traditional business,
mhm.
particularly tuition center, retail, whatever, you don't get profits immediately. If you get, congratulations, I mean, it's good, right? It takes me at least 3 months. I mean, sorry, 3 years to break even.
Oh.
Break even only, yeah, and break even. And then after that, each year you think that you are getting money, but that little bit of money you need to reinvest it into business because you need to do something else. So each year just passed 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. At the end of 9 years, honestly, I get zero. I don't get literally any profits in my pocket.
Wow.
So I can tell you the pay, the income from a corporate to what I become a partner, I have at least maybe 4 to 5 times type of pay reduction. I had to struggle that for 9 years. And in the end, I don't get anything. So when I heard the news that it means we lost contract, then my heart just go boom. What's going to happen for my rest of my life,
Yeah.
right? So um, so that's triggered me. That triggered me because to think about something, and I told you, we were just at the backstage. I was sharing with you that
Yeah.
day I received that news that we are not going to get our contract. That day, one of my son came to me, the other teenager, who actually he doesn't quite like studies. But I'm very stunned that night. He asked me, "Hey, mommy, if I'm going to university, do you have money for me?" So I said, "Of course, sure." But at the back of my mind, I was panicking. I'm like, "Oh, that was really a wake up call for me." So, so then I it triggered me, and that's where I remembered I had one ex-colleague. She was a student care teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing this. I know she was like doing something digital online thing
Mm-hmm.
for almost a year and a half or something, a year plus, and then she quitted. She became a full-time mother, and she's still very successful. So to
Mm.
me, there's only two things, right? Either she earned too much already, she can resign and become part-time, or it's something that's so sustainable that she can quit her job, take care of her kids, and still earn that money. So to
Yeah.
me, it doesn't matter which one, because either one, I'm happy to have it.
Yeah.
So, so that is why I made the change, because I knew I wanted to do something else, probably something online, because I don't have I want to do something that while waiting for my contract in the school to end, I can quickly build up a second source of income. Yes,
Yeah.
so that triggered me, and I take this step into
You
this
jump
digital
into
business.
this.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, that that's the that's the amazing thing about this business, and why I'm so inspired by so many of your stories. And you know, I would just like to know, like, how has this business changed your life?
um,
Like, once you step into this, right? Because it triggered you so much. Like, how has that changed your life ever
um,
since?
actually, it changed me a lot, a lot. There's so much that I think you give me another 1 hour, I cannot finish. But I guess I will go to the crux. Okay, a few
Mhm.
things. Um, I would say I've done things that I've never think I ever do.
Mhm.
People would think that, hey, you're from corporate, what, right? You're a high flyer.
Yeah.
You should be knowing to do this, right? But I have to tell you, I'm not a tech savvy person. I'm not a social media person, and I am in fact, very social media shy. So this business has really, okay. I have always said that. I always tell myself I'm a very uh I have a person with growth mindset. I always tell myself that. But actually, when I came to this business, I realized that maybe I'm not that open, you know. But I I really managed to step up. It actually taught me how to have the real growth mindset, step out of my comfort zone. So I overcome things like going on live like that. I've never Okay, when I first came on board, I never even had one selfie. I don't take selfie, and I don't have photos of myself. Like out of like maybe 50 pictures, I only have one by myself. Yeah, so I learned about that, being overcoming that part and having that growth mindset.
Yeah.
And then the other transformation is that it changed my perspective in many things. Like I said, I thought I know a lot, but actually I don't know a lot. And there's so much more out there that we learn. And the positive mindset that I have, it actually influences people around me. It's like a ripple, right? People around me, particularly my children,
Mm.
and they become very positive people, and that translate into um, influencing them in their schoolwork. As mothers, we have to nag them, do your homework, do this, do this, do this. But I'm very surprised that with mind change, which influence them, they actually become, it helps them in their social emotional growth. And they are more disciplined, more self-aware, and
Mhm.
doing homework by themselves, motivating themselves, and being wanting to also help people. Because in this business, it's actually all about helping people,
Yes.
and they have this mindset about wanting to help people. So yeah, so long story short, that's how end up we have adopted a stray cat in our home, because they say
Mhm.
that's saving a life. And that's how my older son also get involved in school as a peer support leader. And I'm
Wow.
very proud mommy today, because I got a
Yeah.
news last night that he has been elected the president, because he's
Wow.
so passionate about it. So you see, these are the things that it influences people around us. Yeah.
Yes.
And I must say, there's so many things, but there's just this one more, or rather two more thing I must say is, first thing is, um, there's so many like-minded people I met in this community, which I never ever thought that this type of people exist like me. People like
Mhm.
Rebecca, people like so many people out there, we all think the same mindset, and
Yes.
positive people. And about this community is, I always thought that as a boss, right, you're always alone.
Yeah.
You one person, you run everything, you do everything, and you have to learn everything yourself. But
Mm.
in this community, no, we have so many people supporting each other. You are never ever alone. And the amazing support, amazing system, amazing structure we have is such a breeze that you will never ever encounter out as a business owner by yourself.
Yes.
And the last thing
Mhm.
is, um, the last thing that I want to share, it's not the last thing that changed me, right, is that, as we work in the daily grind. I'm a person with huge dreams. I dare to dream. But along like so many decades, 2 decades, I just find that my dreams were lost, buried underneath, or cast aside, because we have no time to think about it. And we feel that it's not possible. Every day so busy. Where got time to pursue your dreams, right? But through this business, it made me realize my dreams are possible. I can live my dreams. And um, it's definitely achievable.
Yes.
So yeah, this is some of the key changes that have that has happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what inspired me, And like, thank you so much for the time that you have given. And before we end, do you have any advice for the viewers or anyone who's gonna catch the replay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that, never give up, right? Have that open mindset, that growth mindset is very key. Despite you being thinking you may be having that growth mindset, don't give up, continue to learn, be open and receptive to new ideas. And you may have tried 101 things, and it may not have worked for you, but there's no harm trying one more.
Mm.
So before I end here, I really want to share that thousands of people including all of us here, both of us here, have benefited from this online business. So, Rebecca has actually presented this beautiful gift to everyone here. So just open up. You may like it, you may not like it. If you like it, you can take it. If you don't like it, you can put it aside, right? So take the first step, as all of us did, register for this webinar that Rebecca have here for you. Find out more and then get in touch with her. She'll be a very good mentor to guide you in this online journey. So give yourself a chance, give your family members a chance. You all deserve to live the life that you want.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You ended this very well for me. So I don't I have nothing much to say. So thank you everyone for your time, and
Thank
thank you,
you.
Jen,
Thank
very
you for
much for
having
this.
me here. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you. Thanks,
thank you very
Rebecca.
much. So
Bye.
thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye.